and Rob and Corey take a dive.
This is the worst.
If you think you have what it takes to win the amazing race, go to cbs.com/casting and apply now.
I've got some tremendous news.
The British are coming! The British are coming!
Oh!
See how the ghosts phenomenon began.
What sort of moron believes in ghosts?
The UK ghosts haunt CBS tomorrow, 9/8 Central, and streaming on Paramount+.
Ho, ho, ho! It's Big Brother Reindeer Games, December 11th on CBS.
No twisters in the forecast, but very strong winds will be gusting about the UP. I'll show you how fast, plus your full forecast. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, firearm deer season begins. We talk to the DNR about what's affecting this year's hunt. Plus, Ishpeming businesses cater to the ladies for the first day of deer season. A look at the fun tonight at Ladies Night. And History Exposed, the special presentation tonight at the Marquette Regional History Center about photography. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Cooling down a bit tonight, and it feels like the winds have died down a bit too. So Arian, what's in store for us tonight?
As you said, the winds have calmed down finally, and they have been the big story this week. This evening, we'll expect mostly clear skies and those temperatures probably in that 25 to 35 degree range. But as you can see, most of our winds coming out of the south, southwest. We'll stick with those for the most part, but we'll see a direction change on Friday. We're expecting very windy conditions tomorrow, maybe some showers later on. I'll show you that with Futurecast after the break, and then those temps, crashing way down on Friday. Your full forecast coming up soon.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Today, of course, was the start of regular firearm deer season. For hunters this year, that means mandatory deer registration, but the DNR says there might not be that many deer this year. WZMQ's Mitchell Reif tells us why.
The regular firearm opening day for deer season has been considered largely a holiday in the Upper Peninsula. Due to the inconsistent winters and change in the snow patterns the last couple of years, however, wildlife biologists are expecting numbers to go down in deer population and ultimately the number of hunters active this season.
Our predictions are going to be probably we're going to harvest fewer deer this year. So we've actually had 2 back-to-back severe winters for deer. So we track that by looking at the snow load.
Wildlife biologist Brian Roll says if there are more than 12 inches of snow on the ground for more than 90 days, the winter rolls into a severe category for the deer population.
We've had 2 winters now that we've exceeded those 90-day marks, and so that's hard on the deer, and that correlates into fawn birth weights, which is very important for deer fawn survival.
Roll notes that even though deer numbers are receding, the number of predators is still consistent, creating an even bigger threat in the environment for deer.
We're probably recruiting fewer deer through the winter. We got declining numbers of hunters. Everything kind of plays into one big thing.
Although this year's registration is mandatory, at check stations like the one in Marquette, hunters are still able to get their harvest weighed, aged, and registered.
We used to collect biological data by measuring antlers, aging the deer, and all those kinds of things. Now it's just kind of a service. Folks can come on down if they're still interested in knowing that age.
The DNR also does have hunting patches available at the station, but only with a limited supply. Mitchell Reif, WZMQ 19 News, Marquette.
A Delta County business is inviting hunters to show off what they've caught. Rapid River Knife Works is hosting its 3rd annual Big Buck Extravaganza this Saturday. Anyone can bring in their buck for free scoring. Guns will be awarded for the largest buck in men's, women's, and youth categories. The event will also feature raffles and other prizes. The store general manager says the extravaganza is a great way to bring hunters together.
In the outdoor industry, and we love to give back to the people in the outdoor industry as our customers, and this is something fun that we want to do every year just as a thank you to all our customers.
The Big Buck Extravaganza is open to the public from 5 to 10 p.m. All attendees will receive a free raffle ticket, and anyone with a deer will receive an additional ticket. Ishpeming businesses helped women take some time for themselves tonight. Apiary Life Studio and Doozer's Bakery hosted Ladies Night in the Gozzard building. There were discounts from the permanent businesses there and a variety of local vendors with pop-up booths. Women from the area browsed the stores while meeting new faces and meeting up with familiar ones. The owner of Apiary Life Studio says Ladies Night has become a local tradition.
Night is a long-standing tradition in Ishpeming where when the hunters go off to hunt on November 15th every year, ladies come out into town and shop and be merry and hang out with each other and check out what's happening around town.
Marquette's Ladies' Day Out is all day tomorrow, and Iron Mountain's Girls' Night Out is also tomorrow from 5 to 9 p.m. local time. Northern Michigan University is warning students about recent reports of scam calls from people impersonating campus police. Earlier this week, an email was sent to students and families about scam calls requesting bail money. NMU police say that is not how law enforcement would conduct business. Marquette police say the best way to avoid being scammed is to just take a minute and evaluate the person's credibility.
It's questions of the person. It's one or the other. You either understand that it's a scam and just hang up the phone call and end all communication with them, or if you are concerned in a sense and you want to verify the information, start asking questions to them. Don't just rely on the information that they're providing.
You can find a link to report any fraudulent activity at WZMQ19.com. As winter nears, Travel Marquette is reminding people how to safely and respectfully use public outdoor spaces. Travel Marquette held a presentation tonight to go over the principles of Leave No Trace. The agency says it's important to remember things like checking the weather before you head outdoors and carrying out any trash that you might have. Travel Marquette says following the principles of Leave No Trace not only protects yourself, but also the trails and the ecosystem.
Definitely helping the environment. Certainly the snow trails, the fat tire bike trails that NTN has are very fragile, and so you have to be very cautious when you go out on the trail, that you're being respectful. If it's slushy, you don't want to go through it because when it refreezes, it's going to end up with ruts.
Tonight's session was the first of a series Travel Marquette is planning to host around Marquette County to promote Leave No Trace. The Marquette Regional History Center is exposing historical photos and photographers from Marquette's early days. The History Center's special exhibit, Exposing Photography, has been open since March and explores photography and photographers from the 1800s. Tonight, they read from one of the journals of one of those photographers that tells the story of a voyage taken on Lake Superior. The History Center curator says the stories of these photographers are an important part of Marquette's history.
To be proud of. There's a lot of talent here. There's just a beautiful landscape here, and that has drawn people here from the very beginning. So I think it's really great to understand how that's developed over time.
That exhibit will remain on display until mid-January. Escanaba High School's 59th theater production premieres for audiences this weekend. Big Fish the Musical is the story of Edward Bloom, who tells his son tall tales about his own childhood. In his stories, he meets a fantastical cast of characters that includes a mermaid, a witch, a giant, and even a werewolf. Cast members say beneath all the theatrics, songs, and dance numbers, Big Fish is a story about family.
My perspective is about this father who wants to make his son proud of him because he's proud of his son. He just wants to make his son laugh. Even though his son is not really believing them, he still tries.
Big Fish opens this Friday and runs through the 21st. Tickets are available for $15 at Escanaba's High School office and Babaloon's Cafe. A new chiropractic office catering to all ages just opened up in downtown Iron Mountain. Renewed Life Chiropractic opened its doors earlier this week near the corner of Hewitt and Iron Mountain Streets. It's run single-handedly by Lauren Carabini, who wants to offer a welcoming environment that feels like home. She practices on patients of all ages, including newborns and toddlers, and even designed a special kids room to help children feel more at ease while getting adjustments.
Something bright and welcoming and kid specific, that it has, the cute giraffes and stuff that was just a little bit more kid friendly rather than the scary, medical type setting.
Any ladies who come in tomorrow during Ladies' Night will get $15 off their new patient visit. In Washington, today is the 2-year anniversary of the bipartisan infrastructure law. In 2021, President Biden signed the legislation which provides $1.2 trillion to repair roads, bridges, and more all across the country. WZMQ's Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon heard from Democratic senators today who came together to mark the occasion.
To date, the bipartisan infrastructure law has funded over 40,000 specific projects and awards in more than 4,500 communities across the U.S. and its territories.
2 years ago, people came together to get something done they have been talked about forever.
Democrats like Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow call it a once-in-a-generation investment in infrastructure.
135,000 miles of roads are being improved.
Of the 45,000 U.S. bridges in poor condition, nearly 8,000 are currently being repaired with funds from the law.
We're seeing our bridges fixed, and we're building new bridges. We're improving our airports. I've seen that here in my city of New York and around my state.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says thousands of projects are underway to improve ports, waterways, railways, broadband, and even drinking water.
This is one of the largest federal investments ever in water infrastructure, aimed at eliminating lead service pipes, which have done such damage and injury to our great kids.
Also included $5 billion for electric school buses to give students a cleaner ride to school.
Every child deserves a clean ride to school, and thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law, we're now $5 billion closer to this goal.
Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break. Plus, prices at the grocery store are impacting Thanksgiving dinner sales. We take a closer look. And the best way to help local food pantries throughout the holidays. What the Salvation Army says it needs most right now. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Shop our huge selection of Amish-crafted dining room sets at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Browse our large in-stock collection and customize with a special order. With 1-year no-interest financing available, plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture today.
At John's Auto, we love our new location. Is that right? Because it lets us serve you better. What did I say?
I think so.
Escanaba and Delta County, home to beautiful beaches, Lake Michigan, lighthouses, pretty parks, and great people. It's why so many are proud to say, this is home. I'm Lily Simmons. I'll show you what's happening here every day. In your schools, your communities, and businesses. Sharing what makes this area so special.
Lily Simmons reports from Delta County. Weeknights at 6 and 11. Only on WZMQ 19 News. Another thrilling week to play football. The NFL on CBS. Catch all the action this week on WZMQ 19. It's a doubleheader Sunday with Pittsburgh taking on Cleveland at 1 and the Jets play at Buffalo at 4:25. See you this Sunday for the NFL on WZMQ 19, home of the 2024 Super Bowl.
Perry Mason is the perfect entertainment for day and night. During the day, it's a great juicy courtroom drama.
You killed Polly first to get rid of her.
And at night, it's a perfect spooky murder mystery. It's Perry Mason.
Weekdays at 9 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. on MeTV 19.1.
The Upper Peninsula's home for the talk, WZMQ 19.
Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
Well, we had a break from these winds, but they will be gusting back up later this evening and especially tomorrow. Right now, about 12 miles an hour in Ironwood. Most of our winds a little bit calmer than that and coming from the south. But as I mentioned, we are expecting some gusts. So Lake Superior and Lake Michigan, we've got gale warnings and going until Friday morning, basically. So just keep that in mind if you were thinking of heading out and maybe catching some fish. Might want to stay off the lake. Taking a look here, we saw a high of 54 out at the National Weather Service station just outside of Marquette, and current temperatures in that 30-degree range. Mostly clear skies, and we'll have some cloud coverage moving in later on tonight. And we'll expect that for tomorrow morning. Breezy and gusty like we talked about. I'll show you how gusty we're getting in just a moment, but partly to mostly sunny skies. And then those temperatures really nice. Friends, this is our hottest day of the mid-late fall, if you will. 50 to 65 degrees. And then tomorrow evening, we're looking at more wind gusts, mostly cloudy skies, and then chances of rain showers. So I mentioned we've got gusty conditions. Most of that activity is going to be from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Will we see more gusts continue later on? Sure, but it won't be in that 40-mile or more range, or even 30s. So this evening we could see gusts up to 24 there in Ironwood, and then tomorrow, check it out, 41 in Eagle Harbor, and we'll see some gusts down here along Lake Michigan as well. Should be a little bit breezy over on the bridge, so heads up if you're headed that direction. 37 in Manistee by 4 p.m. and it's just going to be wild and crazy there until later on, even into our Friday. And then we've got that wind change, if you noticed, coming from the north, and we'll have some very cold temperatures compared to what we're going to see on Thursday. Will be colder on Friday. Taking a look at precipitation, as you can see, the majority of the Great Lakes region, fairly dry conditions right now. Not a sprinkle in the sky, but that will be changing in a little bit. So tomorrow morning, we'll start with some cloud coverage, things clearing out there in the afternoon, and then until early evening around 7 p.m., lots of clouds moving in, some rain showers making their way eastward. We'll see them here in Marquette around 9 p.m. and then further towards the east, we could see a mixture of rain and snow overnight there. It's going to be about 2 in the morning. Things should melt considering those temperatures there in the morning, but you never know. So just a heads up if you're on the east side, might be a little slippery, but mostly clear conditions for our Friday evening. Friday during the day, we'll expect some sunshine. Thursday will be in that mid-50s by noon for our school day, and then your 7-day outlook for Marquette. We're dropping down to 38 on Friday, but staying fairly dry until next week.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Of course, the big story today is opening day of deer hunting season, and Carl Bonak says the weather is often a crucial aspect of the season, and it varies widely from year to year.
The opening of Michigan's deer hunting season on the 15th has been a constant since 1925, but the weather on this unofficial UP holiday varies constantly. The average high on November 15th is 38, while the average low is 24. Warmer weather is a good thing for the comfort of hunters, but not too warm. Hunters were sweating in their flannels with a record high of 65 on November 15th, 2001. It's the warmest opening day on record at the Weather Service. That year, the warmth continued into the first week of deer camp. There was a record high of 64 on the 17th, which is the warmest high temperature so late in the season. It then reached 60 on November 18th. Because of the warm start, the first week of the season came in over 12 degrees above average. It was even warmer in 1953, an incredible 17 degrees above normal. Houghton Hancock maxed out at 70 degrees on November 17th, 1953, while Iron Mountain had its warmest temperature so late in the season during that mid-November heat wave. On the cold side of the ledger, in the wake of the heavy Veterans Day snowstorm, the first week of Deer Camp 2014 was incredibly cold, over 18 degrees below average. The opener dawned with a 21-inch snow cover at the National Weather Service office, with a thick covering over the entire UP, which virtually brought the season to a halt. On the other hand, most opening days have little, if any, snow on the ground. As recently as 2009, there was no snowfall until November 26th. There was only 1.1 inches of snow the entire deer hunting season of 1990, with no snow cover until November 30th. As for this season, as Ariane showed you, if there is any precipitation the first week of the hunt, it should mostly be in the form of rain.
Meanwhile, there's just 1 week left to help students by contributing to our Operation Warm Up. Goodwill stores around the UP have been collecting winter wear, including jackets, hats, and gloves. 2 weeks into our inaugural campaign, hundreds of jackets and over $3,000 have been collected, and all the collections go to local schools.
Outreach has been fantastic. The bins are filling, and we're also willing to supplement with new goods in terms of toques and mittens and hats and things like that. So we're ready to go when the schools are ready.
Bins are located at all Goodwill stores, where you can also round up at the register to help out or just make a monetary donation. The last day for our campaign is November 23rd. Food prices continue to rise, and that's making for an expensive Thanksgiving feast. Danya Backus has the results of a new report and some tips on how to save.
Forklifts full of turkeys are showing up at grocery stores, including Handy's Market in Burbank. Christine Tota is buying turkey for her family and also plans to donate.
I try to get a couple extra for the food banks. So, whatever I make, I try to make another one for, somebody else.
And there is good news. Prices are cheaper this year. The American Farm Bureau Federation says a classic Thanksgiving dinner for 10, including a 16-pound turkey, sides, and dessert, costs just over $61. That's actually down 4.5% from 2022. The biggest reason why is an improved turkey supply. But even with the relief, this year's prices are still way above pre-pandemic levels.
We're still up 25% compared to the same meal in 2019.
With many Americans looking to cut costs, several retailers are offering discounts on a variety of foods this holiday. Walmart is offering a meal with the basics for under $30, and Target is selling a similar feast for as little as $25. Many canned items, including pumpkin filling and cranberry sauce, have gone up in price. But according to a Wells Fargo report, there are deals in the produce aisle, including fresh cranberries.
Fresh fruits and vegetables are actually at or below last year's prices right now in general.
And good news for dessert lovers. The cream used to make whipped cream is down about 23% from last year, a sweet way to top off the holiday.
Of course, families around the UP could be looking for assistance to put food on the table this holiday season. The Salvation Army of Marquette County is stocking up its food pantry to gear up for Thanksgiving. Donations of non-perishable items such as pasta, canned vegetables, soups, and bottled water are in high demand. The Salvation Army says when making a donation, think about the type of food items that you have at holiday gatherings.
A lot of pastas and pasta sauces. Think, how would I make a meal? If I could make a meal with this, and then just that's what you donate. So, yeah.
Could donate a little cake making kit. The Salvation Army is also seeking non-food donations. The most requested item is hygiene products. Still ahead tonight, focusing on heart health, why researchers say those close to cardiac arrest survivors can also be impacted by the incident.
I'm Richard Karn, and I love my hose. My hose is lightweight.
Oh no.
My hose will not kink.
Come on.
And my hose is anti-leak. It ain't those old hoses. This is my hose. The new pocket hose Copper Bullet, now infused with real copper, so your water is always clean and lead-free. Just turn on the water and watch your hose grow and grow to a full-size 3/4-inch hose. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking and squeezing that water out until it's practically bone dry. Our new inner tube uses 3 layers of high-strength latex on the inside. Then it's wrapped in a new polymer filament jacket, the same technology used in forest fire hoses because it's light and tough. 3 times stronger than the other hoses. It's guaranteed for 10 years. Nearly impossible to tear or snag. And the redesigned connector protector with flexible collar helps stop leaks at the spigot. But my favorite part of our new hose build, the oversized, easy-to-grip fittings. Easy on and off, even with gloves. Perfect for power washing cars and trucks, ready to go anywhere, even your pocket. With more than 100 patents worldwide, it's the best pocket hose in the world. Get the super light 25-foot pocket hose Copper Bullet today for only $29.99. But wait, call now and get our Turbo Shot adjustable nozzle. From those delicate flowers to power washing your walkway, a $20 value, absolutely free. Copper Bullet is not available in stores, This is an exclusive advanced release of our 2024 edition pocket hose. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-957-6218. That's 1-800-957-6218. Or visit copperbullethose.com. So call 1-800-957-6218 now.
You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
Tens of thousands of people suffer cardiac arrests each year, and new research highlights the loved ones of those patients can struggle after the event because they're co-survivors. Michael George has one family's story.
It's been 11 years since Jennifer Chapp saved her husband's life. Rick was 56 when he went into cardiac arrest in their home, and she did CPR until help arrived.
I still think about it almost every day. I mean, how can you not?
Rick spent 11 days in the hospital.
He was recovering and doing, all the things he should be doing. But I was so stressed. I wasn't sleeping. This happened to both of us.
We call them co-survivors because they are surviving this event, this traumatic event at the same time.
Dr. Sachin Agarwal with Columbia University Irving Medical Center authored new research that shows most caregivers of people who survive cardiac arrest report some psychological distress, such as anxiety, signs of moderate depression, and PTSD.
They need to take care of their loved ones' physical, cognitive, psychological, medical needs, their appointments, their medications. So combining all of those with their own sort of psychological distress and the uncertainty that lingers.
The study finds access to resources and information can make a difference. The Chapps are part of HeartSight, a website to help families impacted by cardiac arrest. The couple became basic life support instructors after their experience.
I was suffering from, trauma. I should have done it sooner, but I did seek counseling. The counselor helped me understand it from the science standpoint of what happened to me.
Jennifer has also taken part in research on co-survivors like herself so more people can also find support.
About 1,000 people suffer a cardiac arrest every day in the U.S., which researchers say adds up to more than 2 million people impacted by cardiac arrests, from loved ones to first responders. In other health news, more than 1 in 3 adults in the U.S. has prediabetes, and more than 80% of them don't even know it. Prediabetes is a health condition that puts people at risk for heart attack, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. But it is reversible by eating healthier, losing weight, and being active. The CDC is launching a campaign to encourage people to ask their doctor if they are at risk for prediabetes. Your health could play a role in whether you fall victim to a scam. A poll by the University of Michigan shows people ages 50 to 80 and whose health and memory are reported to be fair or poor are more likely to say they've been a victim of fraud. The report also finds older adults who live alone and have lower incomes are also more likely to be scammed. And researchers say they are getting closer to creating a vaccine for HIV. A team at the University of Cologne reports learning more about antibodies that neutralize HIV in patients and hope to eventually produce a vaccine that induces those antibodies. 1.2 million people are infected by HIV every year. It's about to get very, very windy tomorrow. Ariane tells us how strong the gusts could be for us. And this deer is getting the last laugh. The funny video on a doorbell camera in Georgia. In our final story after this.
Wait a second. You're saying I'm not invincible? So you can see me right now?
New tonight on CBS. Have you heard? Affordable healthcare is better than ever. And right now there are more carriers and plans to choose from. If you're between 18 and 64 years old with a household income of $25,000 or less, this message is for you. Right now, the government's Affordable Care Act is available for individual and family health coverage plans with little to no cost to you. Don't gamble your health. Call Health Care for All. 70% of callers qualify for a zero-cost health care coverage. See if you are one of them. Call now. Our agents are standing by to help you get the health insurance plan you and your family needs and deserves. If you're uninsured or struggling to afford your current health insurance, help is just a phone call away. This is not Medicaid or Medicare. This is the marketplace with the largest selection of healthcare plans from the Affordable Care Act. To find a plan that's right for you, call 800-626-9042. That's 800-626-9042.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show.
I was coming to your show. I had to do the manicure and the pedicure.
Chef Jose Andres nailed this cooking tip.
I can't cook with these nails.
You can finger point to others. You do this, you do that. That's cooking too.
Then you definitely want to answer that.
Oh my God!
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
Meet Opie Taylor. He's dramatic. A dreamer.
I wish that I get a B in arithmetic.
But most of all,
I think you're the best sheriff in the whole world.
he's devoted to Dad. It's Andy and Opie on The Andy Griffith Show.
Weeknights at 8 on MeTV 19.1.
Current temperatures in that 30 to 45 degree range, still holding tight there in Ironwood with the temp of 45. Mostly clear skies at the moment, but we will see those clouds increasing overnight. We are expecting partly to mostly sunny skies tomorrow and lots of big gusts. Check it out. We could see speeds close to 50 miles an hour. So if you haven't secured down any of your patio gear or put it away, you might want to do that very early tomorrow morning or tonight if you've got time. And then hunting forecast looking at Iron County, Menominee County, as well as Delta County. Those temps in the mid to upper 50s, even 60 degrees. Winds very gusty, mostly coming out of the south, so just heads up on that. And then Thursday, ladies' day / night out, we're looking at those southwest winds and those temperatures fairly warm to start the night off, or day off, I should say, and then dropping down just a little bit by 7 p.m. 7-day outlook for Escanaba will be about 41 degrees on Friday.
Finally tonight, in the spirit of opening day, one young buck is pulling pranks. A Georgia Sheriff's Office jokingly alerted county residents to be on the lookout for a ding-dong ditch suspect after this deer was spotted ringing a doorbell on a deputy's porch and then darting away. Doorbell camera footage released by the Cherokee Sheriff's Office shows the four-legged suspect waiting outside the home before it appears to be startled and gallops away. I love it. And I love that it's a buck too.
And it was at a deputy's home?
It was at a deputy. Everything about this, like you couldn't have written a better story, but it was real.
I need to find that deer on social media and follow them.
Yeah, it's at the next house over and then the next house over.
Are you a fan of venison? Just totally.
I am actually. It's pretty good. Okay. How about you? No, that's okay. You know, either like it or you don't.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
Wait a second. You're saying I'm not invincible? So you can see me right now?
New tonight on